We have already learned about data types in Python. Primarily, there are two kinds of data, and those are numbers and text or string. In this lecture, we'll learn about text type data, which is called a string in Python. We know string are letters or text or numbers including text. And we always need to wrap our string values using quotation. Either single or double quotation, but we have to wrap it. Let's declare a variable. Name it message and assign a value and simply print it. Great, it's working. Now, in our variable message, let's assign multi-line string value. We can see we're getting an error. To solve this error, we can simply use opening single quotation 3 times and closing single quotation 3 times. And the error is gone. Let's print to test. Great, it has printed perfectly. Well, we can also use double quotation instead of single quotation. If we want, we can check the length of a string using the len function. And if we want, we can also print any specific character or letter from a string. Simply, we have to count its position number and print it as list index. Let's try it. We have to keep in mind space is also taking a memory. So when we count the position of a string, we have to include the white or blank space. Like if we want to print letter C from first line, then we have to pass the index number 7 as the index starts from 0, like an index of list or tuple. Let's do that. And run the program to test. Okay, we cannot see the output because it has printed blank space. The reason is we have used enter at the beginning. So we have to pass index 8 instead of 7. Well, we can also print letter C from our first line. If we go back here, if we use one backspace. Now let's pass 7 instead of 8 here and run the program again to test. Awesome, it's working perfectly. Hope you guys have understand how index is working. Now, if we want, we can pass a range of indexes like we did in tuple or list. Like if we want to print the word computer, then we have to pass the index 7 at our first position or at our starting position and 15 at ending position. Now let's run the program to test. Great. Well, if we want to make all the letter capital, then we can use upper function. And using the lower function or lower method, we can make all the letter lowercase. And using the find string method, we can find the index of a word. Let's try it. Let's try to find index of computer. We can see it's at the position 7. And using the replace method of string, we can replace one string value with another string value. Let's try it. Let's replace and using ampersand and run the program to test. We can see it has changed and is replaced with ampersand. And using the split method of a string, we can convert a string into list. Let's try it. And we can see the string is converted into a string. Well, if we want, then we can loop through a string like we do in a list or tuple. So let's try it. Now let's look at a format method of a string. Well, when we need to pass values inside a string from different variables or from list, then we can do it using the format method of a string. And we need to use curly braces where we want to print our expected values. Let's try one. Let's declare a few variables and assign values. Well, here in the message variable, we have assigned one string value, and everywhere we have used curly braces, we want to print the value of a variable declared above. And we can do that using the format method of string. Let's try it. And inside the format method, we have to pass all the variables respectively. It means we have to pass positionally. We have to pass these variables maintaining serial. Here we want to print I want to buy 10 pieces of t-shirt for $99.99. So at first argument we'll pass the variable quantity, then item, and finally price. Now let's assign it in a variable and print it. And run the program to test. And it's working perfectly. Well, if we want, then we can also pass index number inside the curly braces. Let's say here we want to pass index 2, here index 1, and here index 0. Because we want to print index 0 here, so our price must be at 0 position. And then following index 1, the item must be at 2nd position, and finally quantity. Let's run the program again to test. And we can see it's working perfectly.